May 25th, 1982. Over the freezing waters of the South Atlantic, 4 aging jets skim so low above the waves that the ocean spray coats their canopies in salt, and every pilot inside knows this could be a one-way mission. Because ahead of them wait 2 of the most advanced warships in the British fleet, and behind them lies a nation demanding victory. If you're drawn to real air battles where courage outweighs technology, hit subscribe now and join us, because this story proves that sometimes history turns in just a few terrifying seconds. The jets are Argentine A-4 Skyhawks, old, stripped down, carrying iron bombs and little else, led by Captain Pablo Carballo, flying toward the British destroyer HMS Coventry and the frigate HMS Broadsword near the Falkland Islands, known to Argentinians as the Malvinas, territory already seized but not yet secured. The British ships have moved closer to protect their ground forces, bristling with radar and missiles, and those systems have already torn Argentine aircraft from the sky in previous attacks, so the only way to survive is to fly lower than seems humanly possible. "Don't climb for any reason," Carballo orders, his voice tight but controlled. The Skyhawks hug the contours of Pebble Island, using the land itself as a shield, disappearing from radar as they slip into the minimum engagement range of the Sea Dart missiles aboard Coventry. On the bridge of Coventry, Captain David Hartdyke stares at his radar screen as 4 contacts appear, then vanish behind the island, exactly what he feared. Too close for comfort, too close for clean missile shots. Alarms wail, sailors sprint to action stations, missile launchers rotate with mechanical precision, but war rarely follows a script. Carballo breaks around the island, and suddenly the ships are there, gray silhouettes against steel-blue water, 10 nautical miles, 8, 6. "Starting the attack," he says, and pushes the throttle forward. The Skyhawks accelerate, skimming just feet above the sea, so low the radar struggles to separate aircraft from wave tops. Aboard Coventry, operators shout bearings and ranges, and confusion spikes when a British Harrier checks in nearby, friend and foe sharing the same airspace. "Turn the Harrier away. Fire!" Hartdyke orders, but the Sea Dart cannot lock. The Argentines are ghosts in the spray. On HMS Broadsword, the shorter-range Seawolf system prepares to engage, better suited for this knife-fight distance. Yet as the Skyhawks approach, flying so close together they appear as a single radar contact, the guidance system falters when that single blip splits into 2. Computers freeze. Missiles not responding. There is no time to reboot destiny. Coventry's deck guns erupt, joined by sailors firing rifles and machine guns, tracers stitching the sky. Carballo sees splashes climbing closer to his wings, feels the instinctive certainty that they may not survive this pass. "Switch targets," he shouts, banking hard toward Broadsword. Bombs release, 1,000-pounders tumbling toward the sea. They strike the water and skip like monstrous stones. One sinks short, the other smashes into Broadsword's side, punches through, bursts out the deck, then falls harmlessly into the ocean without detonating. A miracle for the British, a heartbreak for Carballo, but the attack is not over. A second pair of Skyhawks races in, carrying smaller 250-kilogram bombs, more reliable, deadlier in their own way. Coventry turns sharply to starboard to bring missiles to bear. "Shoot!" A Sea Dart streaks skyward in flame and smoke, but at the last instant, the Argentine pilots drop even lower, vanishing beneath radar coverage, the missile flying uselessly onward into empty sky. On Broadsword, systems reboot, screens flicker back to life, Seawolf locks on, and then, unthinkably, Coventry sails directly into the line of fire, blocking the shot. "The Coventry is in the way," someone shouts. In the chaos of maneuver, the only missile that could save her cannot fire. Now the Skyhawks are almost upon them. Coventry's guns thunder, but the main 4.5-inch gun sights are misaligned. A 20mm cannon jams at the worst possible moment. Sailors fire everything they have as the sea erupts with splashes and smoke. "Brace! Brace! Brace!" echoes through the ship. Lieutenant Velasco steadies his aim, squeezes the trigger, cannon fire ripping across the deck. Then he releases his bombs. They slam into Coventry's hull with heavy, hollow thuds, and for a heartbeat, nothing. Men begin to rise, confused. Then, the bombs detonate. Twin explosions tear through HMS Coventry, ripping open the hull beneath the bridge, destroying critical compartments, igniting fires that roar through passageways in the operations room. Another blast erupts in the engine room, killing power, killing propulsion, leaving the ship mortally wounded. Smoke pours skyward. In the cockpits above, Argentine pilots shout in triumph, "Goal! Long live the nation!" But below, it is fire and screams and thick black smoke. Captain Hartdyke regains consciousness amid devastation, the intercom dead, the deck tilting beneath his boots. He fights through smoke-filled corridors, hearing the groan of a dying ship, emerges into cold South Atlantic air to find not chaos, but discipline. Sailors executing evacuation drills with astonishing professionalism. Wounded carried, rafts prepared, survival suits donned. The hull listing further every minute. Hartdyke, injured and dazed, refuses to leave until the last of his men are away. Finally, alone on the upturned hull, he casts one final look at his command, his ship engulfed in smoke. He has done his duty. As the last man aboard, he steps into a survival raft and drifts away. 170 survivors are rescued from the freezing sea by broadsword and helicopters. 19 sailors never return home. All 4 Argentine pilots make it back to base alive. They struck a powerful blow, proving that courage and low-level daring could defeat superior systems. Yet, the sinking of Coventry does not change the ultimate outcome of the war. It remains a brutal chapter in the larger struggle over the Falklands. In just minutes, technology failed, instincts ruled, and history shifted on the surface of a cold, gray ocean. A reminder that war is never just machines and missiles. It is human decisions made in seconds that echo for generations. If you want more true modern air battles told with the intensity they deserve, subscribe now, because the sky has many more stories, and we're just getting started.